if you're out there, I want to tell you that what you need to do today is take one step closer to whatever your goal is. So start and then keep moving.
You're watching the Career Series powered by MTN. I'm your host, Talula Doherty Adetono, and today I am joined by Ifeoluwa Dare Johnson. She is the CEO and founder of HealthTracka, a health tech company making medical diagnostics convenient and affordable. Welcome to the Career Series.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So I'm so happy to have you here. I feel like, the health tech industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry globally. And with HealthTracka, you're doing so much important work in terms of allowing people to test for various diseases in their home, send the test to a lab, and then get their results digitally.
Absolutely.
So how did the idea for HealthTracka come about? And, how did you just get the entire company started?
Yes, thank you again for having me. And so in my case, I would say it's a bit of a tragedy turned into, a business idea in some way. So I got the call just one random day that my dad had slumped. And it was strange because he was one of the most jovial, optimistic person. There was nothing wrong with him, at least seemingly. So when the doctor told us he's had hypertension and diabetes untreated for so long, which had degenerated into what we were looking at. We were surprised, right? And that was the beginning of it, because it got me to start to think about, why are we not screening? Why are we waiting for things to randomly happen before we realize that there's something wrong with us, right? It is a law of life that as you grow older, your health declines.
Yeah.
So the earlier we confront this reality, the better and the longer we can live. Yeah. And so that happened. I mean, we passed on November 2019.
Oh, so sorry.
Thank you so much. And then COVID happened March 2020, around that time. So I was grieving. COVID had happened. We were home. So I had more time. I was obsessive and, just thinking about what's going on in this country. What's wrong with us, especially for our generation? Because we were more educated. 60% of people who live in Nigeria are less than 30 years old. So we're increasingly getting educated, but then we are not doing the basic things about our health. We should know better. We should be doing better. And that was where the idea of, can we make diagnostics as convenient, as accessible as possible for our generation, for me, for you, for people like us who are digital natives, right? And that's how we started.
Oh, wow, fantastic. I think, I'm so sort of in awe of your drive, because other people may have faced that same situation, but you've sort of turned it into something of purpose and something that will actually help others to take care of their own health from your own personal tragedy. So thank you so much for that. And
thank you.
Let's talk a bit about transitioning, because you were a 9-to-5er.
A regular one.
A regular 9-to-5er before you started HealthTracka. So how were you able to transition from 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur? What challenges did you face along the way? And how were you able also to explain it to your loved ones and people around you who are probably thinking, are you sure you want to leave a secure, job for this sort of almost uncharted path, which is entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so I was a regular 9-to-5 person, but I've always said this: whatever you're doing, whatever you find yourself doing, has either a 9-to-5 or an entrepreneur, please ensure that you're learning and you're focused on growing, right? So I've always been very interested in the way things were done or run in an organization. All the organizations have worked, interestingly, right? So when it was time to make a leap, I wasn't so afraid. In fact, there was one, the role I was before starting HealthTracka, people used to think it was my business, right? I mean, I had some of our partners actually reach out and say things like, we want to support women-owned businesses. And I'm like, it's not my business. I'm like, we just like the way you, it's not mine. So I always encourage that, when you're working, whatever your role is, put your heart to it. Ensure that you learn how the business runs, right? Just in case you get inspired to do that. So of course, it wasn't an easy conversation with my friends, with my family. Health tech is not exactly the most sexy industry, right? So if you were going in it, at least go for the money, right? You were going to go for entrepreneurship. I was coming from the point of social enterprise. I wanted to make money, but I wanted to make impact because I had, an experience that happened to me that I need to, be part of the solution. So I had to explain to people why I needed to be the one doing this. I needed to explain to you why I'm qualified to do it. Sometimes not even for others, to myself as well. I needed to tell myself, okay, so you want to start this idea of at-home lab testing. Why haven't other people done it? If they've done it and failed, why do you want to do it again? So as I'm convincing myself, I need to convince my family members who don't have a choice than to support me, but at least I need to be able to explain to them.
Yes.
Yeah. So it would be just that transition of knowing that, I want to give this a shot. I have over a decade of work experience. I've worked through different industries, even healthcare itself, technology, right? So it will be a great time to put all that into use. A bad load of courage.
But it's definitely paid off. I'm so glad
to
see that it's definitely paid off. It's just been 2 years since you started.
It would be 2 years in May.
2 years in May, okay. Wow, what a journey. What a journey.
Yeah, what a journey.
Amazing. Ifeoluwa Dare, I want you to speak to the person out there who has an idea for a tech startup. How can they ensure that this idea is a viable idea that can actually, attract users?
Yes, so if you are out there and you have any idea, you found a solution for a problem that is common, and you can see the market in that gap that you've identified, the first thing you want to do is validate your idea, right? And validate it by actually letting people try it. Yes, so and I always say all the time that you do not need to build a mobile app as the first step of validating your idea. You can get a Google form, you can get a WhatsApp group and test it out. Can you get 5 people to pay for this solution? Can you get 10 people? Can you get 100 people? I promise you, once you're able to validate that, quickly learn what people are actually willing to pay for, then it will be easier for you to go boldly out there and double down on it. The most difficult thing to do is going from 0 to 1, 0 to 100. I remember we rolled out the red carpet when we got our first 1,000 users, right? And because as far as we're concerned, if we can get 1,000, then we can get 1 million. Right?
Yes.
So I think that's the first thing you want to do. Go as basic as possible, but ensure that you get the traction that you need. Number one, you will negotiate better deals when you're speaking to investors. You will be able to go to market with a lot more confidence because now you can get users, you understand your users, you know what they want, at least to some extent. So that would be my advice. Start small and quickly validate your idea. Get paying customers.
Okay. And that's nice and simple. I like that plan. It didn't involve too many bells and whistles.
No, don't layer on too much tech at the beginning.
Beginning.
Let it happen. Use no-code solutions actually, and just get it started. I think I've said this before in an interview. We started with a mobile app because we wanted to be cool, and quickly we realized that innovation had to be incremental, especially in healthcare. People are not going to go from I actually do not even do my lab tests, or I haven't gone to see a doctor in a bit, to I'm just going to download an app and get a test done and do all these things, right? So we had to roll back basically. I got a guy on Upwork, paid him $40 and built our first website. Very simple, crude form. I remember that you fill the form that you're interested in test and we will respond, send you account number, very quick. But we made our first $20,000 from that website,
wow.
Right? So, and that helped us to move on to, our web app. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for giving us an example because, we're like, wow, if the mighty HealthTracka started off this way, then we can all, start off small and scale from there. Fantastic. So let's talk about HealthTracka. Can you tell us more about the company, what it does? And I know that there's this amazing HPV at-home testing kit that's come out very recently. So how did this come about, and how has it been received?
Thank you so much. Right. So again, because I'm a woman, I'm able to relate to most of the struggles that women go through. So I mean, cervical cancer, for example, is one of those diseases that is totally preventable. In fact, it's unnecessary. No woman should be dying of cervical cancer in 2023. Unfortunately, we are under-screening our women. We have women who have no idea actually that this exists. We have women who just cannot figure out how to, why a speculum needs to go down there to get this screening done. And it was one of those, days that we actually began to think about what if we could make it seamless? What if we could make it less painful? And we came up with, an idea to launch an HPV self-collection kit, as simple as using a tampon, and women can do it themselves. We already, HealthTracka already offers on-demand at-home lab testing, from cholesterol tests to STD tests to hormonal tests for women, actually, to prostate cancer tests for men. Different tests that we offer that allows people to, at the comfort of their home, order for this test, and it's done. We partner with laboratories. We actually partner with healthcare providers as well. We have doctors on our platform who are able to review test results and basically offer like a plan hand-to-hand for our users, right? So we basically launched the HPV test kit to ensure that women can have access to screening and not have to worry about this every year, right? Because we're meant to do this every year.
Yes.
So if you want to do it, you want to make as painless as possible. So women can basically just order it. We pick up, we drop off, and that's in 1 week you get a result.
Oh wow, yeah. This is really fantastic.
Yeah, so healthtracka.com, just order it, you have it.
So ladies, there's no excuse not to do your HPV screening. Yeah. Zero excuse.
No excuse at all. And it's important that we get this to the hand of every woman. No woman, again, should be dying of cervical cancer in 2023. Science has improved so much for that to be happening.
But Harry, thank you so much for inspiring us with the story of HealthTracka, and also, seeing you as a woman in health tech, flourishing, growing, and just juggling it all. Family life alongside entrepreneurship is, really, really something that I'm sure a lot of us are going to hold dear to our hearts and be inspired by. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.